Hey, hello. This is Angela. This is Angie Watkins, your Extreme Encourager, coming to you for your live at 5. I mentioned before, at least last week, each Monday in November, I'm going to do something a little different. So I am talking about 'tis the season to be eaten. Yeah, because we're talking about Thanksgiving's coming up. You got all kind of other holidays that are going to be coming up soon. And I want to just actually focus on gluten the whole month of November. One of the things, I'm probably going to go longer. I mentioned that it's a bit of a change as well. So if you have any questions or you're watching a replay, feel free to ask your questions in there. But I'm talking about gluten and the fact that it can be gluten-free, doesn't have to be taste-free. But I also want to tie in for you why I'm making such a big deal about it and how it can actually impact your career. So one, I gave up gluten, and sometimes I actually still get gluten. You can tell on my face at times. If I've been gluten, my face actually changes. It tells in my face. That's my tell. Everybody else may have something else. But even that, from a facial standpoint, you can probably see if it could be even another food allergy. If your face is spotty and maybe acne ridden, it may not actually just simply be acne. You may be actually reacting to food. And specifically, I'm talking about gluten, because your body is not accepting it and is actually acting out by showing up on your face. One of the things, I'm going to talk about 5 things you may or may not actually be thinking about, and the fact that it can actually be impacting your career and your thought process, specifically like brain fog. There are times I noticed after I gave up gluten, if I had it in my diet, if I had it, I actually reacted negatively. My mind was slow. My reactions were slow. A lot of stuff, just not being able to think and concentrate, was impacted simply by having gluten, or wheat for that matter. The other aspect you need to consider, a lot of stuff we just take for granted. If you're overweight, and I was overweight, and I got rid of a lot of weight. But as I got rid of the weight, some of it really actually, sometimes like, was it fat or inflammation? Because sometimes I just look swollen. And swollen is another aspect of some type of food allergy, because, if you're allergic to shrimp, and, it's not that you get the anaphylactic shock or anything, but maybe your eyes swell or something else swells or your hand swells. So some of the stuff that you're doing is swelling, and inflammation has another domino effect, which can actually be joint pain. So if you're achy and just uncomfortable, or your knees ache, your elbows ache, your fingers hurt, you think you got the arthritis. So I'm like, everything can be impacted by an allergy to wheat or gluten or some other food. When you actually start paying attention again about what you're eating, and you notice that it's just not the same, or you just feel bad. Sometimes taking an antacid or something like that is not the whole issue. Just stop eating what it is that you're eating. Or you actually may be allergic to something that's in there. So we talked about sometimes if you're having gluten and you can't think, you got brain fog. You may have inflammation and you're swollen. It's not necessarily fat. I mean, I have pictures, and I'm getting to a level where I'm going to be comfortable showing it on here, but my eyes swole. So that you may think, oh, she's kind of just big. No, my eyes were swollen. Because even if I actually have something now, I can tell the difference between my eyes being normal and my eyes being swollen, because I'm having a reaction. The other aspect of it, once I got rid of the gluten, and if I actually have it again, I can actually experience migraines. And for me, migraines are debilitating. They mimic a stroke, meaning that my speech is impaired. This is the whole brain fog to another degree. The left side of my face actually gets non-responsive in a sense. The thought process is delayed. Concentration is delayed. The aura that I have, or I can't see, and I'm like, I have to wear shades. Any type of light, like this kind of light, would be aggravating, actually excruciating. And they're not fun. Some people can actually be still productive, and it's for them, it's a severe headache. But for all of us who have migraines that take you to another level, you're basically almost having a stroke because you can't talk, you can't see, you can't think. You may actually, vomit. But it's so horrible. I went somewhere and I made sure I told them, I wanted a burger, no bun. They came back with a bun. I learned the hard way, mess up that food so they can't just give it back to you after they put it back on the grill, because that's what they did. They put it back on the grill, made it hot, came back with it, but probably it's already been contaminated. It already had pieces of the bun in it. I wasn't aware of it, but 30 minutes later, I'm going back home because I have a migraine because I can't think, can't see, and I want to get home before I actually can't do anything else. I mean, even the left side of my body will go numb. So it's a race against time to get somewhere so I can just lay down and stay still in a dark place. So for me, getting gluten is not simply, oh, it's just a fad. No. I'm going to be in pain. I'm going to be pissed that I'm in pain. And I don't want you to be thinking about it and just taking it for granted. Some people, I don't have celiac, but I have non-celiac gluten sensitivity. So once you remove something, or at least you identify something that you're allergic to, putting it back into your eating space is not going to be fun. So if this is 'tis the season to be eaten, you want to actually be able to enjoy yourself, what you consume, and have good time with family. Ah, hey, Ashley. So you've had inflammation before? Weirdest thing in the world. Yeah, it can be that severe. Yes, it can. So any food allergy to extreme, I mean, some people are allergic to shrimp. I'm also allergic to shrimp. It holds that whole breathing thing for the rest of the day, kind of messes up anything if I actually try to have it. I can smell it, that kind of thing, but consuming it's not my best friend. The other part I want to talk about, and just for your consideration, again, other food allergies may have the same thing, is depression. If you read the book Wheat Belly, you may see, or hopefully if you have it, read it. It talks about how gluten can actually pass the brain barrier, and it changes the way you think about things. So if you think you're overly emotional or overly sensitive or, whatever, it can impact your mood. I know I changed a lot of even just my thought processes by kicking it out. So the reason why I wanted to talk about it even in relation to the job thing, and I'm going to get to how it's not having to be taste-free, is that if you're having food allergies, you may not be thinking the best way. You may not be selecting the best job. You may actually just be too depressed. I'm like, oh, it's hopeless. And it's being exacerbated by a food allergy. You know you're capable. At least when you're thinking clearly, you know you're capable. You know there are opportunities out there. It can be a struggle, but it doesn't have to take you under, meaning the depression type of thing. And also, if you're dealing with a lot of joint pain and aches and issues and things like that, where you need to, think you have to have a lot of, special accommodations, things like that, it may actually not be arthritis. It may simply be inflammation. And even if it is arthritis or some other issue, it can possibly be, delayed or deferred, or some of that pain can be removed or reduced just by changing some things in your diet. And I mean, gluten is the wheat, rye, and barley. Those who want to drink, you know what? They are gluten-free drinks. You can look them up. You can find them. But I say this because part of this is impacting how you get your pay and position and your prestige, because you're not able to go to work, be at work, be 100% at work, because you're being waylaid by a brain, and you don't have to be. So, and I'll probably repeat some of this stuff as we go through, because again, 'tis the season to be eaten, and I want to explain why I'm making such a big deal out of it when it comes to you getting your position that you want, because everything you do really is important, even how you eat. Because if you can't concentrate and work, and you think, oh Lord, I can't remember something, it could be simply that you're reacting to a food allergy. Could be gluten, could be something else. I learned the hard way, cranberries are not my friend. Causes another facial explosion. So bye-bye cranberries. Vanity, my name is Angela. What? I don't care. I don't want to actually look like who done it and why, and if I can control it, I will. So back to the gluten-free, doesn't have to be taste-free. I just want to give tips real quick that once you actually start working it doesn't have to be hard. You can do little tiny steps. But check out certain things and read the ingredients. It needs to say gluten-free. But beware when you read, sometimes they increase the sugar content to hopefully increase the taste process. But it doesn't have to be high in sugar, and it doesn't have to be, you know, all crazy looking to be good for you and taste good. Those who know how to cook, I'm domestically challenged, but yes, I can do some things. But those who know how to cook can replace certain ingredients, even if they're baking at home. Instead of wheat flour, you can have gluten-free flour. Bisquick makes stuff that's gluten-free as well. King Arthur has some great flour information for pancakes and waffles. And it's not a lot of sugar. It depends on what you put in there. But it's not a lot of sugar. And they are awesome. Because I've tasted some nasty ones. But you don't have to give up everything. You can still, if you want pasta, you can get rice pasta. You can get gluten-free pasta. Some stuff made with almond flour, rice flour, coconut flour, other things other than wheat. You don't necessarily have to forsake taste to actually feel better. So the other part, again, watch the sugar content. A lot of grocery stores have a gluten-free aisle. You can get pizza. Like I said, you can make your own pancakes and your waffles. They have frozen waffles, eating gluten-free, like Vans and stuff like that. You can find brands. You can even just go, if you want a Facebook group, you can go to the group gluten-free. There are things you can do to help you be healthier and feel better so that you can just have a better and easier life. Because again, I don't have as much joint pain. Actually, as long as I don't get gluten, I don't really have any joint pain. And I have other issues that my body's going to do anyway. But getting gluten out of my diet has reversed a lot of things. I don't have a lot of elbow pain or joint pain or knee pain due to like achiness. So even if, you know, get the right, author got you, you might need to check out getting some stuff out your diet. Even if you just choose one thing to remove from your diet, little by little, notice the difference. You can try 5 days. And if you just think it's too much, try 3 days. Just no bread, no wheat. So if you got a sandwich, get a lettuce wrap. Lettuce wrap, not another wrap, because it's probably still got wheat in it. Get a corn wrap or a corn tortilla or something like that, or rice-based something. Because if you have to have a sandwich, try something else. They have gluten-free crackers even. So, and they're good. You can try Char, S-C-H-A-R as a brand, Glutino. They even have, yes, cookies that are gluten-free. So one of the things you want to try out is just see how you feel by taking it out maybe 3 to 5 days and notice if there's a difference. You may think clearer. You may respond better. You may have less inflammation. That ring you couldn't get on your finger actually fits better because you're not swollen. You're walking a little bit easier. You may not need to lean on the cane as much as you have been. You may notice some of your migraines or the headache that you get after a certain meal may not happen anymore. And you actually might feel happier because you're not, depressed. Give it a shot. 5 days. And if you want some tips, feel free to inbox me on, put in there you want to eat gluten-free for 5 days. I can give you some specific tips. Let's talk about what you're doing, whatever. Because 'tis the season to be eaten. And, we all want to have some stuff we're going to throw down during Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to my family, and we're eating. And what's awesome, what is so, so awesome, my family's even asking me, what can they fix that I can have? So I can actually break bread with them and it's just enjoy company. And sometimes it's just chicken and there's no crazy seasonings. So as you prepare for the whole holiday type of thing and you're still looking for your job or you want to just get better at the job and just having a good time with family, think about some changes you might want to make. And if it's not even gluten but another food allergy, pay attention to what's going on. And enjoy your family and enjoy your food. And until next time, I'm Angela, your Extreme Encourager, and I will talk with you a good time next week, same time. And next week, I'll be keeping on with the tis the season to be eaten, and we're talking about how you can actually eat out gluten-free. Because again, domestic challenge chick. I'm still eating out. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.